Hey, once again, maybe this is my last video before I probably get a heart attack tonight or whenever. I don't know. But yeah, today has been another bullshit day. Um, these I guess there's a difference between remote neuromonitoring and jinns or spirits or whatever. I don't know. All I know is these I guess years ago when I mysteriously blacked out around Danny Zaniga, Frank Cisneros. I mysteriously blacked out around an ex-girlfriend of mine named Amber Macias, and who knows how many other people were around at this party. But all I know is whoever this Danny Zaniga is, he's like a bully. He's like a acquaintance of mine from the past, and he seems to be making noise in my head. He acts like he acts like the top part of my body is his, and the bottom half is supposedly mine. Like he just moved in, and he just keeps insisting that he's the new Sammy in my consciousness or something, and he just keeps insisting. He he uh, him and these other impressions, like use my body like a fucking, like some sort of fucking two-way radio through time or some shit. And the I mean, when they first came into my head, one of them like just threatened me, said I don't have to say anything, I don't have to ask you, and it just like jumped in here and just acted like it owned me, and then I guess changed identities, just kept telling me I'm Danny and that he's Sammy. And then uh then he pretended to be me and started going around telling other noises that I wanted to see them, supposedly. I don't know why, I don't know what that means, but some other impressions showed up and were forcing me to say I see them, and pressuring me. Or it could have been one one set of impressions torturing me, and then telling me to say I see something, or playing on my emotions, like making me feel guilty, talking about, oh, something's in hell, or something needs your help. They just need you to say that you see them, or some dumb shit. And I was like, no, because I didn't understand these noises anyway. It was distant. There was no legibility. There was just nothing. It wasn't enough for me to. I don't know. It was just awful. They're assholes, and just played on my emotions. Kept nagging, making me feel guilty. Are you just gonna leave this? Oh, you want something to happen to your daughter, man? And blah blah blah. And yeah. After like saying whatever the fuck they wanted me to say, because you're just gonna. These people are in trouble and they need your help. Only you can save them, or some dumb shit like Smokey the Bear. And I just didn't know the phrases, like saying you see something. I mean, this is just sound. I mean, how do you see sound? I guess you can't see sound. So I don't know what that meant. And they just kept torturing me and like grilling me. And just back and forth like a sandwich. One impression was a dick, act like he owns me or whatever, and then like in the middle of the torture, like a few weeks of torture with one impression, and then it'll jump back to the other impression. Then I'll lose track. The one impression will just keep working on me, and then to where I'm just like so fed up. I'm like reacting like right now how I'm just laying down here. If they were to start fucking with me or something, I would just be chilling like this, like, man, whatever, man. Just get the fuck out of here, man. Leave me alone, leave me alone. And then they'll reformat my words like, oh, whenever he says get the fuck out of here, it's gonna mean something else, something that like I don't know. They keep talking about some sort of fallibility bullshit. Like they'll just change a bunch of shit, and I'm not even paying attention. And then when I repeat the same stuff, if I repeat the same phrase, it's as if someone else was talking, like some snide remark or some evil fucking curse word or just something that like takes, or I don't know. Anyways, they they would do that, and I'll forget which impression is just fucking with my head. And this was like in the beginning, like the first 6 months to a year. I'll just be tired. Like I was already wanting to commit suicide after 6 months. Just wanted to commit suicide, and started drinking and doing drugs after being clean for 20 years. And then they um anyways, there's just why am I making this video? Oh, because they just keep fucking with me, telling me that they 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 own my world, and they're in my heaven now, and how do I like them now? And they'll just start bragging. Oh, say hello to the new whatever. Like they'll say their name, or like right now, if while I'm making this video, they insist that I sound like that guy Danny, and supposedly him or someone else, while I was blacked out, looked into my I don't know what that's called, looking into someone's retina, or that freaking word, that iris word, or whatever. That supposedly they looked in it, and while I was blacked out, they I don't know how they manipulated something, but I don't know how a piece of that other person, supposedly, like they keep um, insisting that my name is Danny, and that he's Sam, and supposedly everything I've ever created or sang or read or pondered was rerouted over to them, to this guy. Actually, like right in my consciousness, like everything I say or express verbally, like right after they delete it. They make an incantation where they reformat it to where anytime I express myself, they'll just like, ooh, when he said, when he meant to say this, ooh, he ended up saying something else, or he sounds like someone else, or just whatever, anything, just to make me feel like I don't exist. And well, this freaking this dude that goes by the name of Danny, he um he salts me up everywhere I go. Um, they know that I can't like really like hear or comprehend this shit, but they came at me in a way where I heard a noise in the distance say, "Just distract him long enough to where something thinks he's actually talking to something or whatever." And then some girl, sound like my ex-girlfriend, was talking to some black dude like in the distance, and they said something like, "Oh, when we did this to Sammy, you didn't give him any I heard something say didn't give him or do something with like some sort of ears or something like to hear anything." So um so while they're distracting me and I'm reacting, they they would like torture me for even reacting, right? To where I just go back to what I'm doing. But as soon as I go back to what I'm doing or turn the music up or do something, I'll hear a quick question, like some questioning. Hey, is it true this and that? Or, hey, why are you doing it? Or why this? Or what? Something stupid. And I just ignore it. And that happened for months, like a year or 2 years, to where I just like, fuck that. I would ignore it. But just recently, this last 6 months to a year, well, the last 6 months, um, I mean, because it's hard to hear. It's like a vibration. It's like, I mean, if some signal or something's meant to emanate through my ears, it's probably like on mute. There's probably like a muted situation there or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. So I guess if the sound doesn't come through there, it probably vibrates, creates a vibration or whatever, and I can kind of almost hear it vibrating off of my just kind of vibratory in a way. Like it's weird, and so they'll distract me long enough to I'll react, and then they'll just stay quiet. They'll stay quiet. Well, while it's quiet, there's another version of me just talking to them, and they're talking back and smutting me up. Like they'll talk in a way um like that bully name with oh that we did this together or some shit, or it could be that or any other a couple other impressions possibly, but they kept saying oh yeah. I'm like hell no, I didn't do shit. I was passed out. I must have been blacked out and y'all tampered with my body or something. And so the every, every oh well, getting back to what I was talking about. So it'll be like Stockholm syndrome where I'm just chilling like this, and they'll start fucking with my head, and I'll just be reacting normally, like just whatever. Or I wouldn't even talk. I'll just be thinking, or I'll just like whisper, like talk really low or something. Like man. And there they go with it. Who are you whispering to? Who are you talking to? What? Like if I have to answer to someone or something, or how did you hear that, or just bullshit. And well, anyways, when it's quiet, they'll make me snap, and then it'll be hella quiet, and and then because I always keep insisting, I was like, man, I've self-actualized all my life, and they would talk shit like, no, you haven't been self-actualizing. You've been talking to. Mention some other name of some girl. Oh, you've been talking for for a long time. I'm like, no, I haven't. Oh, yes, you have. Um, and they're like, no more, no. From now on, some dumb shit. From now on, uh, supposedly from now on, like They want to own my thoughts, and I no longer am actualizing, and I can't think for myself anymore, or you shut your mouth, you close your mouth when I tell you to close it, and don't you ever open it. Like they'll just like make incantations, like talking shit, like hella evil shit, and I'm like, man, this is my fucking mouth. But then it went years. Close your mouth, open your. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Leave me the fuck alone. And then because it's just either or. Either my mouth is open, I'm talking, or it's closed because I'm gonna go to sleep or I don't have anything to say. It's just either one of those two postures. So they could go fuck off. But whenever I am in those postures, I don't know what's going on. Oh, where'd you be? Goes on. I'm like, what the fuck ever. And they act like they taught me something or whatever, and I don't know shit. Some other impression must have been learning, because it, it's trying to tell me what the fuck to do or something. And every once in a while I'll hear them, like if I close my eyes or if I'm bending over or doing anything, looking up at the sky, it'll narrate. It'll narrate like it's talking to someone, and it kind of pisses me off because um, I never would talk, and I'm like the lonely one. I've been like an introvert, kind of like to myself most of my life. So really not no social life or whatever. And now I know why I don't have a social life, because one of these impressions, it says his name is Danny. Um, keeps salting me up, but then again, I mean, he keeps insisting that they call that I'm supposed to be Danny and he's Sam. Well, I mean, this impression's an asshole. So for him to want to be the good guy like me, um, it, it's fucked up, because the bad intentions still come out, and he's just like be tearing into me like I'm some bad guy named Danny. Like he's like trying to fuck me up, fuck with my head, and incantations, heart attacks, um, all kinds of shit. And everywhere I go, I mean everywhere, like if I'm talking to a female, if I'm talking to people, he literally, I'll hear it come out of my mouth sometimes, like really quick, like I'll hear the last tail end of it, like the last part, and it's so quick, and I don't, it just happens so fast. But sometimes I'll be talking to a girl or just anyone, and something will just ooze out, like, man, don't talk to him, man. He's nasty, man. He's hella nasty, man. He ain't no good, or something, or just, oh, he's a chomo, or he's this or that, which isn't true. And they don't give a fuck. I mean, this has been happening since, I mean, I mean that I'm aware of, these past few years. But if he's been doing this shit to me throughout my life, and stuff like that, then I don't. Then I guess that's what's happening. And today, um, man, I was trying to sell some weed, and I let this dude walk to his car with something, a lot of it, and then it just took off. And these noises, these impressions said that they provoked it. They were talking shit. Oh, he got jacked. He got jacked. I mean, these noises were saying that. Oh, he got jacked, man. Danny got him jacked. Danny told him to jack him. And that same day, or the yesterday, the day before, I was showing some dude something, and he just grabbed the butt of his gun and said, "I'm keeping this." And I didn't really argue with him, but he had something to do with it. obviously, and every time I'm around women or whatever, his voice will just pop in and say, "You ain't getting no pussy. You ain't gonna get no pussy. You ain't getting no pussy." Like salt me up, literally. Like, "Oh, you ain't getting no pussy," and then literally, like if I have company, like if there's a girl over or something, it'll be like on their time. Like they want to dictate what's going on, you know. Um, like I ain't even trying to do anything with them. I'm just chilling, and these impressions, I guess, I don't know if they get into their head, the girl's head, but they'll get all nervous, like all fucked up, like they look conflicted, and their demeanor will change, and then uh I don't know, like I'll hear in the background like, "Hey, well, come on, get you some pussy, man. Come on, fuck her, get," or some shit, or even out of my mouth it'll say something like, "Let's fuck," and I wasn't even trying to say that, but I guess it's like saying a bunch of shit, but I'm not in that mood, and it's fucked up, it's stupid for something to want to rush something. "Hey, come on, hey, if you don't fuck her right now, I'm gonna tell her you're no good," or some dumb shit. And I don't live like that. I ain't operating under some type of shit like that. Something just wanting to punk me and treat me like I ain't shit. And so yeah, I'm kind of disturbed about that, how they're just like literally salting me up, telling people I ain't shit, and encouraging people to uh to conduct themselves like this with me, and that ain't never happened in my whole life. Stuff like that. Well, maybe once a long time ago, but yeah, that shit ain't ever happened. And they just keep erasing um my language, my expression. They just erase it and reformat it. I mean, as far as reacting to them, they'll just give me the impression that, "Oh, oh, did you hear what he said?" You know, when I'm just saying something, you know, "Oh, did you hear what he said?" Or they'll like right now, the whole time I'm talking, they could like program my mouth as it opens and closes to keep repeating a certain word or a phrase. I guess it's heard. I guess it's only heard in their neuro virtual world or wherever. It's probably just heard there, but they'll like in spurts, like, "Oh man, he kept saying this," but these are like deep spiritual, like incantational words, stuff that I don't know about, and um, the way they suggest it and all that stuff, um, they'll make my mouth say something about no longer being some god, or or I don't know. I don't know. They 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 just keep saying shit or making my mouth say stuff that repeats their name, says their name or says something, and just by that, they they brag about um, making themselves some sort of fallible shit. Like right now, as I'm saying this, I just heard a noise. They're 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 reformatting everything, anything I freaking say, and they're making this uh what I'm saying in this video. They're making it a conversation. They force whatever I'm saying into a conversation. They force it, and they program words in my mouth to taunt things, to 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 like like I don't know, to like just relinquish shit, and they keep um one of the impressions that acts like me. He It's as if anything I say, something probably hears it, I guess, and it probably reacts back to me. but I never hear it. But this impression that's in my that wants to be all up in my consciousness and pretend to be me, he literally argues with me like, no, I'm the real thing. I'm like, no, I'm I'm who I am. Oh, when you said because they change everything. Oh, when you said when you said that word, it sounded like this. You said that you called someone a bit or something, like instigating, or like anything I say. I mean, for years I've been saying the same shit. Leave me alone, leave me alone. Fuck you, motherfuckers. And they changed all that. So every time I say that, I mean, I'm so mad. I'm not even aware of it. I'm not even aware of it, but it it's probably saying something else in their world that just makes them uh, I don't know, it makes them feel like they can just keep doing this, or they'll taunt me so I could say something, and they'll pre-program something to come out of my mouth, and they want me to open my mouth so that, and I don't even hear it, but I guess a bunch of dumb shit comes out that like gives them permission to fuck with me or involve me in a conversation with whatever the fuck they're doing. And anyways, like right now my chest is hurting, and there's been times where I'll be arguing and yelling, and the more I yell, I start to get weak. The more I yell, I get weak. And they never would tell me anything. Like the first few years, I would yell and start feeling weak, and then I'd feel like my neck, my chest, and my throat is getting dehydrated, and literally, like if microwaves just like dried my body up, or I start shaking, like I'll feel heat, like voltage, like I'll start shaking, and it's those impressions pretending to be me. They're trying to attack me in my own body, like they'll summon something or whatever, and I'll hear like ringing in my head, and then they one of them will start saying that they're me and that they're the ones that they'll bring up some shit that I did in the past to like identify themselves as me or whatever, and that's what tripped me out. And then they'll tell something to give me like some sort of heart attack or something, like to mess me up, and that's when my chest will start hurting, and they'll just sit there and brag, oh, how did I just see whatever, and but they treat me like I'm some kind of what, like if I'm messing with them, like trying to harm them, and they've taunted me to, like they'll change something or say something, so I say the same shit back, and just to for them to shut up or to leave me alone, and they don't, and they'll be they'll be like, oh, how did he do that or whatever, and so they'll just whatever it is, they're just like using it against me, and like making me shoot myself in the face, and the stuff they say, like um oh, I don't know, it's stupid, it's antagonizing, it's fucked up, and I think some noises said, why didn't I mention Frank? I don't know if I mentioned a Danny, a Frank, a Richard, a Amber, and for some reason, um, they dangle my daughter, or, they threaten her life, or something. Like if she's hovering around there somewhere, I don't know. It's weird. But they're the ones that talk to all them. They're the ones that, and then supposedly like an ex-girlfriend, my baby's mama, then another ex-girlfriend. So one of these dudes, one of these impressions, be talking to all of them and pretending to be me, and and then they taunt me and say, "What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?" or something, and I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I just will make a video or something and express myself while my chest sits here, while my chest burns, and they just brag about um, whatever. They brag that there's words coming out of me that are giving them permission or some dumb shit. And I don't know. So tonight's my last night. I don't know. I just hope it ain't pain. I just hope I don't like pain. I just hope it's not painful because I don't deserve it. I really don't. I don't deserve this shit because I've never hated on them before. And for something to just constantly tell me, you're gonna learn, you're gonna learn, you're gonna learn to open your mouth and close your mouth. I'm like, fuck that. Well, then we're gonna keep doing this over and over and over. We're gonna keep, or whatever. Like they'll just make some word come out of my mouth that tells someone else that it's okay to do something to me or something. And yeah, it's a trip. And like right now while I'm making this video, they keep saying something just keeps saying that something keeps saying that whatever I'm saying or like crisscrossed names or something that it keeps making them some sort of some type of shit. So I mean I don't know what it is that they keep doing that for themselves while treating me like shit and shooting me in the face with dumb shit and me not knowing what the fuck. Um, that and just literally. So I think they've been doing this shit to me without me even knowing throughout my life. And I don't know. I'm just like fed up. Fucking got jacked and these noises brag about it. They brag and they just put shit in my mouth that sounds like it's relinquishing something. Like they want me to like relinquish my soul and whatever it is they're using or utilizing or doing through me or whatever. They want that. They want my brain. They want to live in there and they want a cupcake with something. There must be something, I don't know, a spirit or some other shit that they're cupcaking with. And they're literally broadcasting as my brain, my consciousness, and anything I think or whatever, they'll verbalize it. They verbalize it like they're talking to someone. And when I intervene and I talk shit, all they do is just everything I say, they erase it. Whenever he says this, it's gonna say this. Whenever he says that, it's gonna say that. Like they just mask it to where it comes out, but as if they're expressing it through my mind. Like if they're the ones expressing it and they're getting a reaction back. And some of the reactions that come back, without me knowing, they'll question me again. Oh, what was this about? What are you talking about? What were you gonna say? Like just stuff like as if we know each other and I'm just gonna like volunteer and just talk with them, and I don't. But whatever it is they ask or some type of question or whatever, my mind thinks about it. My mind thinks about it involuntarily, and they just snatch all that, like they're responding back to someone or something, and trying to give me fucking heart attacks. Like right now, my chest is like hurting, like burning, and there's that impression named Danny, um, in the background. He sounds like he's telling his jinn or telling something to defend itself against me. Like if I'm a bad person, like he like sicks it on me or something, and he tells it to do that. And when he says that, if there's something inside of me, my body starts to burn. My body, like I'll feel something, and I don't know. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. And supposedly, if he looked inside of my face and did some type of switcheroo or manipulated something spiritual to where his energetic signature or something about him is hovering in here, and something from me is in him, like if he stole something and left some fucking spare parts of from his shit in here, um it must have been a long time ago or something. And they don't give a fuck. They don't seem to give a fuck. And I guess that's it for today, for this video. What else? What else? Um, oh, yeah, they don't give a fuck. One of them wants to be my consciousness, and he even brags about, oh, I'm the real thing, or some shit. And maybe maybe there's some stuff in my life or things that I did that weren't nothing to me. It was nothing, no big deal. I just went on with myself, got on with my life. But um, I don't know if they took credit for a lot of stuff that I've done or expressed or sang or whatever. It's like they want to keep basking in it, and whatever rapport or friends or things they've met because of that, like they don't want to, let that go. They don't want to just like get the fuck out of here and let me live my life. They want to be my consciousness. They want to be the ones running shit. And if one of their something about them is inside of me, all they do all day. Oh, until you learn to open and close it, till you learn how to do something with you. I ain't gonna learn shit because I don't hear right anyways, and um, I sure in the fuck ain't gonna be at the beck and call all day, every day, and not even hear it, or just, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And they just keep giving me heart attacks until I learn something, and I ain't gonna learn anything. So I think they're just gonna probably just kill me and use my body for like something, like I ain't shit. Whatever it is they're utilizing it for, they're using it against me, having something attack me like I'm someone else, like tricking something into thinking I'm someone else, literally. And they just keep insinuating that they're my consciousness, literally. Like anything I do, if I look over here or look over there or close my eyes, once in a while I'll catch one of these noises saying, oh, now I'm gonna, like right when I'm about to close my eyes or do something, they'll be like, okay, now I'm gonna close my, or whatever, like to prove to something that it's, that what I'm doing is his awareness, that he's the one doing it. But I won't hear it. So throughout the day, who knows what the fuck they do. Just, it's crazy. And so I don't know. Maybe I'll get a police escort and get these people together and have a talk with them uh, or something, or look into their face, or ask them some questions, because that's all I could think of. That's all I could think of doing. And they brag about stealing something from me. They brag about fucking making me a bastard. They brag that we're fucking his wife and we made him a bastard, and he, we made him kill them. Like if my movements or something I do without knowing that, um, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have known. It was, he killed his own or something. And I don't know. I'm just like oblivious, and and like they're in here asking people who they are, like who or whatever. They're asking that. They ask that shit in my own body, like if they were me, and they they just made some shit come out of my mouth about sons, and I hope I recorded it while I was talking. Something just a few seconds ago just came out of my mouth. Something about not being some sons, or that something is, or I don't know. They'll program shit to come out of my mouth that like, I don't know if it makes my life worse, or I don't know. But these phrases that I never knew, and so I guess they're framing me to sound like they'll distract me long enough to react, and then when it's all quiet, um, something seems to keep talking like it's me, but I don't hear it. And then I'm accused of listening. Like I'll just be here in a daze, just sitting here quiet. Oh, why is he listening? Oh, he's listening, or all suspicious and shit. Like I'm being nosy, and I don't hear shit. But now I know that within these last 6 months, it's some other noise talking to something and making me look like I'm involved in something. Um, what else? What else? I don't know, but it just seems like some deep shit, and it's so distant and so irritating, and it's just like one big mind fuck, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of shit being serious and me like reacting like in a serious way, and then for them to just like, who's this chomo, man? We ain't talking to him, man. Why is he bothering us, man? Like if I'm interfering in some little conference room in my head or something. And what else? Well, I'm kind of tired, but I think that's it. That's all I wanted to document, because they pissed me off, and I'm just had enough. This shit has to stop. It stops.